one thing I learned this few years as I grew my business from 0 to 7-figure is really the messaging. How do you convey your value over to your clients, right?
Let's talk about your coaching business, right? I mean, a lot of people listening to this podcast, they're coaches. They want to know how to grow their businesses. And you've been in the game for a little while, right? So can you give us a couple of tips, our listeners, a couple of tips as to, if they're starting, what should they do? And then if they're more advanced, what should they do, just from your experience?
Yeah, sure. I just want to share firstly, I'm actually very, very new to the game. When I was introduced to a secret group of coaches and speakers and trainer, I'm like the most junior among all of them. So but I'll just share with you my experience this few years. If you are coaches, especially in the specific niche of spirituality, like if you want to become a Reiki healer coach, or you want to become a tarot card reader coach, or even a psychic healer, or even even 八字, Qimen, Feng Shui consultant in the spiritual space, especially in the next 20 years from 2024 to 2043. In Chinese Metaphysics, we call this a period 9. You might heard about it because now it's like the new hashtag on Facebook and Google, this new trend of period 9. So yeah, this is one of the trend that if you ever thought of becoming a coach in these aspects, is going to be an upward trend. So to me, I always share my students, it's so much easier if you want to be a health coach even to make 120 to 250,000 a year. Depends what currency you want, right? It can be US as well, if very possible. And I really know friends who's doing 7-figure just being a coach nowadays. So just right on the trend, especially if you are thinking, if you love to be a coach or wants to be a coach, don't think, just jump into this so-called gold rush, right? And just be part of it. And I think it's to me, I feel it's one of the best career I can ever discover myself, that because naturally my nature is I truly likes to help people. I just want to see goodness in other people since young. And then, still at the same time, I can help people, yet, people are willing to, invest in the value for that. I think that's like the best career for me. So that's one. Second thing, I think it's really important for coaches to have their own brand. And I think branding is really important in this period 9 and also in the internet technology now, especially with AI coming in. So I would say spend some time to really start shooting some video reels, podcasts like what Terrence is doing, YouTube videos. And nowadays it's so easy, just a smartphone, just get a good mic and then just, start talking, right? And it's free. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads, right? It's free. And then you just put it up, get enough consistency and action, and people start to know you. And that's how you can brand yourself. And it's really good that you do that for branding. And that's what I did as well. I still remember when I started my accident business, this training business, because someone actually, one of my friends actually pushed me and say, Roy, you should come out and teach this Qimen thing. I said, no, I don't want to teach. I just want to learn Feng Shui, 八字, Qimen. I got better after I learned it. I just want to be quiet. I just want to make my money quietly. I don't want to teach, right? Because teach, you are like sticking yourself out there to be shot down by naysayers, right? They say, no. People love your story. You're such a wonderful story, like what you say, Terrence. I said, no. I was like, back then, like, who want to listen to a failure like me? Like, 6-figure in debt, bankrupt. I forgot to share. Like, I was sent 2 bankruptcy letters by the bank. I was thankful I wasn't bankrupt. I managed to somehow borrow that money from someone and pay off the bank. I got 2 bankruptcy letters, right? And I'm also bankrupt. And it's for very little money, to be honest. And it's so silly. Anyway, and then lawsuit and depressed and suicidal. Like, who wants to listen to me? Like, who wants to know me? They say, no, people will love it. And that's how my friend promote me on the Facebook. And 200 people registered for the webinar. I talked for 90 minutes. I forgotten what I talked about. I just ramble around. And then 15 people signed up for my first masterclass. And that's how I started. Ooh. And I still remember the first year, words just spread. And I was just sharing a little bit on the internet, and people just start messaging me and call me master, call me shifu. I say, no, 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 none of those. I'm not like that. I'm not even a master. I'm like, I just share what I know, right? And then that's how I kickstart my first year in my training. And I did one masterclass after another. My second masterclass was 32 students. And the third one, I even increased the price and 50 people sign up. And that's how I did my first six-figure the first year without advertising, but it's all brand yourself, putting yourself out there.
Right.
And I think the third thing that's really, really important is the messaging. What is the message you're bringing across to the audience? I think this is the same for any businesses out there, especially now, as you might notice, human being attention span is getting shorter and shorter because in the past, we can finish a 90 minutes movie, a 2 hours movie, and then maybe 10 years ago, people still watch a 10 to 15 minutes video. Now everyone just watch a 60 seconds reel. So attention span is getting shorter and shorter. Anyway, so one thing I learned this few years as I grew my business from 0 to 7-figure is really the messaging. How do you convey your value over to your clients, right? Which is can be a coachee, can be a student, in a very layman way. That's one. And secondly is to let them see the results that they are going to have by working with you. If you're able to do that, you just tweak, their frame of mind from impossible to possible, and that is when they will give you the opportunity to work with them. And as long as you have that opportunity to work with them, to coach them, I'm sure, I strongly believe every coaches out there really wants to make a difference, and that's where you can get the results. And once you get the results, always remember to ask for video testimonials, and that's what I did for my very first masterclass. I have 15 students, and I gave a special offer at the end, after the masterclass, and I said, if you give me a video testimonial, I'm going to throw in this extra bonus for you. And out of 15, 10 of them gave me video testimonials. And that's how I started my, to grow, my business into 32 for the second round, because then I can share. I done my first masterclass, and then these are the results from those people. Some of you might know them, and that's how then more people believe this is credible. And that's where, they will want to follow your training or your coaching, right? So it's the messaging that's important.
So just quickly with your messaging, how do you position yourself out there, Roy?
Yeah, so for me, because Chinese metaphysics has always been seen as superstitious, seen as something fluffy. It's not very concrete. It's not logical. And to some people, I've even had students, like they'll hide away from their spouse, because if the spouse knew they are doing Feng Shui, then the spouse would think they are some like crazy people, or even from family members. So for me, right from the beginning, what I did was to break away all this myth, right? So first, if you notice just now, I share like how I make it logical and scientific. Like Qimen manifestation, Feng Shui is just like science, is energy. And if you understand energy, you believe in quantum physics, everything is energy, right? The table have energy, even my voice, you can feel my energy, right? So everything has energy. So I use that to break away the superstitious. Then next is that, I let them see that they can have results. So why I chose Qimen manifestation, because it's something really, really, really easy, and even a 6-year-old kid can learn. In fact, kids are the best manifester, by the way, if you truly understand this, because they're so decluttered from they're so they're not cluttered with all the like adult noises and things like that. And my older student is like 80 years old grandma, right? So it's really easy for them to understand. So you have to make it really easy and step by step. And nobody like hard work. If you make things easy for people to learn, they will want to learn. And once they learn it and they see results, then the belief system will kick in, and that's where they'll continue to learn. So I do have students till today, they have done like maybe 1,000 days of Qimen manifestation, and they literally saw their life grew and became better. Like 1,000 days is 3 years plus. So I have students who've been with me for 3-4 years, and they're still doing it every day. Yeah. So that is that.
That's commitment.
And and because it's a bit like you go to the gym, you see results, you feel good, your life change, and that's how it becomes a habit, right? And so much so that if you don't do it, you feel weird, actually. So So we talk about superstitious, we talk about, easy. And I think the next thing that for my side is there are many, many different masters out there. So for me, I never compare with them, and I don't always I don't go and see my competitors what they do. I just
Mm,
focus on what I do, focus on what's my strength.
mm,
And for me, I always share with them my key strength, which is I discovered it myself through learning my own 八字, is the
mm,
ability to spot things, right? So I'm very, very
mm,
good at spotting, and I'm very good at taking very complex subject like Chinese metaphysics.
mm,
And if you talk about just 八字 system alone, it's a very complex system. Feng
mm.
Shui school is a very complex system. Qimen alone is very complex. So how to take this three complex thousands of years wisdom, not only that to understand individually, but to put them together holistically,
Mhm,
and not only that to apply it into my life and see results, and then create a system and a framework and a step by step to teach to students. So I
mm,
guess that's what my secret sauce is, and that's what
mm,
draws a lot more students now than ever before. And I guess it's
mm,
a journey, and I do more and more, I get more feedback, and then get to know more about myself. So
mm,
for coaches and trainers out there, it's always not about competitors. And in fact, if industry have a lot of competitor, means it's good, because it means it's a very profitable industry, right?
yeah, true.
Like health need, like many other niches, right? And
Yeah,
if you are the only one that is so unique, then maybe you are in the wrong industry or niche, because probably it's
yes,
not popular. Yeah,
yeah.
but anyway, so the goal is not
Mm,
to really compare, like, oh, this person is doing this, that person is doing that. No, I never believe in that. I always believe in running my own marathon. Just
mm,
focus on my race. Yeah, because my goal is to cross the finishing line for myself. It's never
mm,
about, oh, I must race the next person beside me, or must chase the target in front. So
mm,
yeah, so you just need to pace yourself and know what's your strength.
mm,
And since I'm in this universe energy attraction thing, I strongly believe as I became better, then I will attract the kind of students that have the affinity with me to grow
mm.
together. And it's very true. And over the last 3 years, we have seen a huge increase in the quality of students over the
Mm.
years. Yeah. So that means whatever I'm doing for myself and whatever I'm teaching, it works as well. Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks so much, Roy. I mean, that was absolutely fascinating. Chinese metaphysics, and we talk about business as well, and fantastic comeback story as well. So congratulations on all fronts. And yeah, Roy. So I'm sure people listening to this podcast will say, "Hey, how do I find out more about Roy? What's the way to get in touch, or kind of like find out more about you or join your masterclass?"
Yeah, so just Google my name, Roy Phay. So my Phay is P for Portugal, Phay.com. It's a pretty unique name. Yeah, so royphay.com is my website, and you can go there, and you can contact us and my team, and and you can join us for the next round. More than happy.
Fantastic. We'll have it in the show notes as well on the podcast and on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have it down there too. So yeah, please support Roy, and thank you so much, Roy, for tonight. Really enjoyed our conversation together. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you, Terence. Thanks for having me.